Hey YouTube! Okay, I'm doing this video in the kitchen because once again my lighting is better coming in this window right here. And this video actually has nothing to do with the kitchen. It's not food related. Well, it might be a little bit because I do want to talk about how the Whole30 is affecting me and my mood and my anxiety and my depression. Yes, I do deal with depression and I deal with anxiety and panic attacks. So basically, I've been dealing with depression and anxiety since I was in, probably even back in middle school, but really it started to be like a severe situation and got pretty bad in high school. I won't go through all the details of the backstory because it's a long story, but if you'd like to know the whole story, I would be glad to do another video specifically about that. But what I really want to talk about today is the effects that the Whole30 has had on my mood and attitude. You know, I've gotten way better about my depression and anxiety just since, like, over the past, like, 10 years. It's gotten a lot better. 10 years ago was when it was, like, truly at its worst, and I knew I had to do something about it, so I did get help from a psychiatrist and a psychologist. I was on a mood stabilizer medication for a while to help me, and while I was on mood stabilizer I was seeing a psychologist and learning a lot of tools and tips on how to cope and deal with my feelings, emotions, self-talk, all of that. So I definitely recommend, if you are dealing with any mental health issues, depression, anxiety, bipolar, borderline personality disorder, any of those things, you know, the only option isn't medication. There are other options to help you, but I definitely think that medication is a good route to go in the very beginning. It helps you kind of come down to like a clean slate. Let's start fresh. Let's start building you up from there rather than trying to fix everything that you're feeling really crappy about. And then trying to build you up. So the medication kind of helps you come down from being so upset or feeling so down and lets you kind of see the world in a different light, and then you can build upon that. So I definitely would, from my personal experience, would recommend that. I was only on mood stabilizers for a very short period of time. I want to say it was maybe like 6 to 8 months, and then I was able to wean myself off of them completely by probably the 8-month mark. But that did require me to go to the psychologist and be open and honest and very vulnerable and learn how to cope with my feelings, how to change my self-talk, all of those things. So it's a very important component of your mental health. I am no longer needing to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but if I ever started feeling like my depression or anxiety was getting out of control, I would, without hesitation, go right back to my doctors and get the help that I needed. So I encourage you to do that if you think you need it. Okay, so how the Whole30 has affected my mood, my depression, my anxiety, my panic disorder. I definitely have noticed over the past, in week 2 and then now also in week 3, that I'm feeling much lighter. I have a much lighter feeling in my mood and attitude about just anything in life. I'm very, very hard on myself. I hold myself to pretty high standards with my work ethic and my friendships and stuff like that. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to excel at those things and to be good at them. So that, I mean, that is always going on for me, but that's kind of more of like my personality. But the problem was before was that if I felt like I was failing according to the standards I have for myself, I would really give myself a hard time for that. And I would get sad and depressed and feel angry and frustrated that I wasn't doing enough. And the fact of the matter is, I'm doing more than enough. I'm being an overachiever, especially in my workplace. You know, I aim to overachieve. So even when I'm underachieving for my own personal standards, I'm actually still doing just fine for my what's required of me, of my job. So I often have to remind myself of that. But I definitely noticed over the past 2 or 3 weeks that I really haven't been having that mindset lately. I've been like really feeling very positive, and even though like I still have a ton of work to do and it's all sitting on my desk at my work, my attitude has been very like light about it. Like, okay, I didn't get it done. Yes, I wish I had more time, but I'll work on it tomorrow. It's no big deal. And before, I would be like freaking out when there was like 30 minutes left of my work day and I had to clock out right at 4 o'clock, and I knew that this project was going to take longer, and I would just 30 minutes before that was, I still had 30 minutes of time to be productive, but I spent so much of that 30 minutes giving myself crap for not being good enough to get it done by my time to clock out, that my productivity really decreased during that 30 minutes. So I've noticed that I've been much more efficient at work. I've gotten a lot done all the way until my cutoff time at 4. So that's been really nice. And like I said, when I haven't completed an assignment or something by the end of the day, I really haven't noticed that I've like taken it out on myself. And obviously now that I'm doing the Whole30, I can't like come home and stuff my face with bad food because I felt like I failed, which that's historically what I would have done. I would have come home, been like overwhelmed and frustrated and emotional about how much work I have left to do at work, or how much stuff I have left to do at work, and how, you know, oh, I mismanaged my time because I didn't get it finished, and, you know, I hope they don't get mad at me, and I hope they don't fire me, and all this stuff. And all of that stuff was so irrational. They're not going to get mad at me. I am taking on extra projects. I'm working really hard. I'm helping train new people on top of doing my own assignments. So, you know, the fact of the matter is they're not going to fire me because I didn't get a thing finished by 4 o'clock. Most of the time it's not even a requirement of me to get it finished by 4 o'clock. It's just my personal deadline that I give myself. So it's just irrational to think that I might lose my job or that my supervisors will be upset with me, and that's always how I thought. And so I would come home and I would cope with that by eating food, you know, having a drink, not like a lot of drinks, but have a drink with my husband, and eat crappy food and eat dessert after dinner and all that kind of stuff. Well, now I don't have that option. And I really do think that the food that I'm putting in my body is really helping my mental state. I just haven't been stressed out lately. I've been really mellow, really even keel about most things, and I really like how I'm feeling. So I definitely think that the Whole30 is helping me have a better positive attitude. I'm not feeling tired or exhausted at the end of my workday. I still have plenty of energy. You know, when I come home, I'm feeling willing to help cook dinner and wash all the dishes. And, you know, doing the Whole30, there's a lot of cooking dinner and there's a lot of dirty dishes to wash. So even that would have made me frustrated before, but that doesn't bother me anymore. So I really chalk it up to the food that I'm putting in my body is helping me in every aspect of my life. And honestly, if you think about it, if I'm in a better mood and I'm not depressed and having anxiety and you know, having random anxiety attacks over nothing, essentially, not nothing, but my head spinning out of control with these negative thoughts, which would cause these anxiety attacks, I'm not having that anymore, and therefore, you know, that really is a positive thing for my marriage and for my friendships and for my professional life and all those things. So I definitely think that the food is part of that. I guess I'll really know once I start reintroducing some food items back to my diet and see how I'm feeling then, but, you know, I don't know how you can't feel good eating this way. You're putting in only healthy food for your body to work with, and so all of your organs, all of your body systems should be working just like they're made to work, and I think that that makes your overall body feel, you know, really good. So I definitely think that it's been helpful towards my mood and emotions for sure. If you guys have had this experience with the Whole30, please share it with me. If you've enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. I have lots of other videos that I'm actually going to be recording today. They probably will not all be posted immediately, but I'm trying to get some videotaping done while my husband is preoccupied with another activity. I'm just kind of escaping to another room and trying to get some stuff and material together for you guys.